Donnell Hicks faced a judge Wednesday for arraignment on a felony charge in connection with a deadly hit and run. The AutoZone delivery man is accused of striking two people outside a North Babylon AutoZone and leaving the scene with victim Anne Marie Christina, who was killed, stuck under his van. It happened on July 29th.
The female victim was knocked down and became lodged in the wheel well. Hicks continued traveling northbound on Deer Park Avenue while dragging the victim.
At one point, prosecutors say Christina's body was dislodged from the vehicle. It's alleged Hicks was driving erratically, even fishtailing, and the district attorney says at some point the victim had screamed. Christina's family members attended the arraignment.
We want justice for Anne Marie. She was a beautiful girl and she didn't deserve to go this way.
Prosecutors say this is a strong case, citing eyewitnesses among other evidence. The defense disagrees. Hicks's attorney says this was nothing more than an accident and says a crime was not committed.
There was another individual involved. There was a confrontation at the scene, and we are not aware that there were any eyewitnesses to this scene.
The prosecutor said there was a confession.
We're very suspicious. If there is a confession, we haven't seen it.
It wasn't a fight. I think we're on two different planets. The defendant confessed to this crime. As stated on the public record, the defendant confessed, and specifically, he said that he saw the victim. She was face down. I don't think she was alive. I panicked and thought to myself, I have to get to my next job.
And District Attorney Timothy Sini says Hicks continued on his route and was arrested at his next delivery stop at an AutoZone in Ronkonkoma. Hicks pleaded not guilty. Reporting from Central Islip, Cecilia Dowd, FiOS 1 News.
We are hearing now that Nassau lawmaker Carrie Szilagyi has pled guilty to charges of disorderly conduct. Cecilia Dowd is at the courthouse in Hempstead with more. Cecilia.
Nassau County legislator Carrie Szilagyi just pleaded guilty to 2 violations of disorderly conduct. Now, the Nassau County legislator had been charged over a year ago with assault and endangering the welfare of a child. Those are misdemeanors after he allegedly went into a fit of rage looking for his weed. Now, today he spoke briefly after his court appearance to reporters. Here's what he had to say.
Do you have a problem controlling your anger?
I just want to say I want to thank you, my constituents. I want to thank God. I want to thank my family. I am very glad that the criminal charges were dropped. I'm very glad that I've been able to maintain that I have not committed any criminal offense. And I want to thank my lawyer as well, Mr. Petrillo.
Mr. Szilagyi, did you say that you own the courts? Did you say that you own the courts?
He has no further comment.
Now, Szilagyi's lawyer equates the violations to traffic tickets. Again, he pleaded guilty to 2 violations of disorderly conduct. So the initial charges of assault and endangering the welfare of a child, which were misdemeanors, have been reduced. We will have much more later, including a statement from the Nassau County District Attorney. For now, reporting from Hempstead, Cecilia Dowd, FiOS 1 News.
Victims of drunk driving is not just the person that gets hit by the car or gets in the accident. It's the family. It's the community. It's like people that you love. They go through pain daily.
Brian Gormley was walking home from the train in Garden City when he was run over by his neighbor, Tara Ganane, who prosecutors say had a blood alcohol level at more than twice the legal limit. After pleading guilty earlier this year, Tara Ganane was sentenced Wednesday to 3 to 6 years behind bars.
This woman deserves it. She deserves even more in my book because I have a life sentence of pain. And she will get out of jail, but my life will never change.
Gormley, who suffered a traumatic brain injury, was placed in a medical coma. His wife, Mary Ellen Gormley, recounted the night he was struck, saying in court she heard what sounded like an animal being slaughtered.
This woman, Tara Dwyer Ganane, had a serious issue with alcohol abuse. We tried to help her. I tried to help her several times. Everybody in my family has tried to help her. It did not help. It did not work. She ran down Brian February 12th and looked me right in the eye and told me she didn't do it.
Mary Ellen Gormley says they'd even told the police about Ganane and said before the incident she'd worried someone was going to get hurt or killed by her neighbor. The Gormleys continue to suffer.
My daughter has panic attacks. My sons they cry. They call me at night crying. They cannot believe this is happening. Brian cries himself to sleep every single night. he feels like he's not even a man anymore because he can't do his job properly, and all he does is sleep.
Mary Ellen Gormley told the court that her husband was just told his salary is being cut substantially. He struggles with headaches, and she says she hears him screaming in pain. In court, the defendant apologized, saying she can never take back her actions of that night. She said she's extremely sorry and ashamed and takes full responsibility for her actions. The Gormleys stressed that if others see someone drinking and driving, call the police. They do not want what's happened and still happening to them to happen to anyone else. Reporting from Mineola, Cecilia Dowd, FiOS 1 News.
In FiOS 1, Cecilia Dowd has the latest in Mineola.
It was a brief appearance here at the Mineola courthouse for Luis Alejandro Varela, an alleged MS-13 member who's charged with murder in connection with the killing of a man whose remains were found last summer. Luis Alejandro Varela, seen here last week as he was walked out of police headquarters, faced a judge Monday. Varela, an alleged member of MS-13, is the 6th defendant charged in connection with the murder of Carlos Rivas Majano, whose remains were found in the summer of 2018 in the woods near Glen Curtis Boulevard and the Meadowbrook Parkway in Nassau County. Prosecutors say the murder happened in 2017. On Monday, the prosecutor handling the case handed over evidence contained on a thumb drive to Varela's attorney, evidence that's already been received by the other co-defendants in this case. Detective Lieutenant Stephen Fitzpatrick spoke last week, detailing the alleged reason for the victim's murder.
Majano was a member of the group, and he was suspected by them of certain cooperations or acting outside the rules of the gang.
Nassau County District Attorney Madeline Singas said Thursday that Majano had been brutally hacked and murdered to death with machetes. Varela pleaded not guilty at his arraignment Thursday. Varela remains behind bars. His next court date is scheduled for August 9th. Reporting from Mineola, Cecilia Dowd, FiOS 1 News. The police commissioner says police have been in touch with the victim's family, who are in Turkey making arrangements. Now, Roston has a lengthy criminal history that includes an arrest, police say, for stealing gasoline. The district attorney says Roston faces an intentional murder charge. If convicted, that means he would face 25 years to life behind bars. Reporting live from Mineola, Cecilia Dowd, FiOS 1 News.